What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Traveling Crypto. Let us get right into it. Looking at BTC's price, we are nearing 7,800 or around the level of the 200-day EMA right here, which is this yellow line. Now, currently, as it stands, this represents a 33% jump from the lows that we saw back in June. Now, this isn't the most significant rally we've had in terms of percentage. Back in April, we've jumped up 43%, almost 44% before seeing this decline right here. However, in terms of the number of positive candles and among other indicators that we'll talk about in a second, this is more positive than the rally that we saw here. We saw 6 green candles in a row, followed by really good consecutive green volume that you see down here. Also, one of the things that makes this rally a bit more positive than the one we've seen back in April, even though, again, this one in terms of percentage so far is beating the rally that we're currently seeing, but that could, obviously, this rally could continue moving forward, and I believe it will, and I'll share why in a second. But one of the other reasons that this rally is more positive is if you look at the long versus shorts ratio, this is basically taking the Bitfinex long contract. So if you're positive on Bitcoin's price moving forward versus shorts where you're a short seller, it wasn't even that high compared to what it is today, the ratio of longs versus shorts when this rally actually occurred. So we were actually under the 1 ratio. If you look here, at this number here, you'll see that as the day moves along, you'll see the ratio change. So when we started this rally, the longs versus shorts was actually at 0.8 versus where we are currently, which is well over 1. When this rally started, we were at about 1.5, right? So almost double the positive sentiment that we saw when this rally occurred. So that is one of the main reasons why I think we are in a more positive bullish rally than the one that we saw previously back in April. Now let us jump to another increment. This is the 1-week chart on Bitcoin. You see this red line here. This represents the 50-day EMA. We fell below that between May and June and climbed right above it. So this shows that Bitcoin does not want to be below that 50-day, but 50-week EMA, since we're on the weekly chart, and these represent weekly periods or weekly candles. Another thing that's significant, you see here, this is where that rally in April that I was talking about on the 1-day chart, this is where it appears on the 1-week chart, and you'll see that we were in a downward momentum on the MACD as well as on the stochastic as well as on the RSI. However, this rally here, you see that the MACD is possibly ticking upward. You see the stochastic is trending up, and you see that the RSI is now hooking upwards. So essentially, this rally back in April appeared on a downtrend and on a period of downward momentum. We are also seeing similar volume levels to what we saw back in April. Now, let us jump to the 1-month chart, and there are some interesting bullish signs and scenarios to see here. So on the 1-month chart, I'm going to go ahead and activate this. This is the 21 period EMA, which is a historically significant indicator when looking at markets, right? So we see that the 21 period EMA, in this case, it's a 21-month EMA, that Bitcoin touched it last month, back in June, did not like being there, and we are seeing an uptick from that level. So the 21 period EMA on the monthly chart is a heavy point of support as shown here. And as a matter of fact, if you go all the way back to previous months, you'll see that going all the way back to 2015, Bitcoin always stayed above the 21-month EMA. So this is actually a really good sign. And we also, just by looking at this, you can spot some heavy divergence between some of these oscillators and the price. So looking at, here's the price currently, and if you look at the RSI, you'll see that the RSI made a lower low while the price made a higher low. This is also replicated on the stochastic. Now what this is called is a hidden bullish divergence, and that is a sign that a continuation of the current trend is going to occur. So the fact that we see this hidden bullish divergence and the disparity is actually really wide. I mean, you could see how steep these trend lines are, and it occurs between the RSI and the stochastic. That is a great sign for Bitcoin's path moving forward. Obviously, on the fundamental side, we have the talk of the ETF that BlackRock is pushing. Now, the reason this is significant is because BlackRock is the largest exchange traded fund supplier in the world. And the fact that they are pushing for a Bitcoin ETF, and there has been a lot of positive sentiment from potential investors. Now, one thing I want to point out that you might not have seen in other videos or analysis is this metric of open interest. And open interest in traditional markets is a way to gauge market sentiment. So we looked at the longs versus shorts, which is one way to gauge market sentiment. But open interest has been historically another reliable way to gauge market interest in traditional markets. And what open interest is really just a fancy term for the number of outstanding futures contracts, and in this case, Bitcoin futures contracts. And I want you to take a look at this baby blue, I guess. I'm a little bit colorblind, but this baby blue bar right here, this represents the open interest, and this dark blue line represents this dark blue bar represents the average daily volume. So both the average daily volume of Bitcoin and the number of Bitcoin contracts, right, futures contracts, has increased. As a matter of fact, this represents a 58% jump between Q1 and Q2. And regardless of the positions, whether they're long or short, what you're looking for is the overall open interest metric. And the higher that is a very reliable metric that indicates that whatever current trend we are on is going to continue. So you can actually see rising open interest on a downtrend, and that is a great indicator that the downtrend will continue. In this case, as you could see here, we are currently on an uptrend. And the fact, and even if we look at, a longer term picture, so this is the weekly chart, you'll see that we're on an uptrend. The monthly chart, you'll see this month we are trending heavily upwards, already surpassing the opening of last month. So this right here is a great sign, along with the fact that I personally believe, we've seen this time and time again, but once a big institution like BlackRock starts lobbying for something or starts advocating for something, it eventually happens. So I definitely think that we will get the ETFs soon, and that those ETFs will drive further investment into Bitcoin, just in the same way that the futures did. Just one other thing that I want to point out is, on the Discord, I'm getting a lot of questions as to why certain coins are going down against BTC value. Well, it's because Bitcoin's value is rising parabolically, right? These are very violent rallies. So we saw Bitcoin jump 30% in a matter of a couple of weeks, if not less than that. So that is why these alts paired against BTC are declining in value, is only because Bitcoin is rising in value so sharply. And that is leading to, investors dumping their money or investing in Bitcoin or trading in Bitcoin more heavily, as you could see by the Bitcoin dominance here increasing. However, I did send out a trade alert for basic attention token, BAT, which we netted 24% on earlier this morning. And I send those in the Discord if you're interested in the trade alerts. The link is in the description. Of course, we're still considered to be in a bear market, and I'll take profits wherever I can get them. 24% is not a bad look. We have made profits on BAT before on previous trade alerts. So stay tuned for those trade alerts. Again, link is in the description. All right, that is it for this video. Hope you guys learned something. Go ahead and thumbs up, comment if you will, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The link for the Discord, which is 100% free, is in the description. Stay safe out there. Peace.